1 o'clock phone call, talking about the snowfall, hopping out of bed like Duplantis with the pole vault. In today's video, we're going to be making a full Billy Woods type song that includes a Billy Woods type beat, as well as how to write like Billy Woods and try to rap like Billy Woods. I want a disclaimer here right now. This is not going to sound like a Billy Woods song at the end of this video. I got as close as I could, but his style is really not one to be emulated. So don't think of this so much as how to make a song just like Billy Woods, but rather extrapolating some of the specific strategies he uses when he's writing and rapping, as well as the production that he chooses. A lot of the strategies that might go into making that happen, and then what you can make out of those ideas, if that makes sense. I'm gonna get more into some of the strategies that I use as the video goes here, but this is me kind of trying to figure out how to make a Billy Woods beat. This sample right here is pretty much the root of the whole thing. This is where I'm going to get a lot of the different sounds that I use throughout this video. Right here, I'm going to extract the stems out of it really quick because it's just going to help me try to take some of the drums out of it, because I'm going to want to do my own drums. You can hear those right there. I just got rid of those out of the sound. And then I played with it for a while in the fruity slicer thing right here. First time I've ever messed with it, to be honest. And I didn't like it. I don't know what the hell I'm looking at. There's way too much happening right here. All that just to figure out, oh, I like only this part, and okay, I could just do that with the actual sample. So that's what I do right here in a second. A lot of Billy Woods' instrumentals are really, really sample heavy, but also like super loose, laid back, lots of space. So I'm trying my hardest here to kind of lay it back, if that makes sense. And that includes slowing it down. That helps a lot. But I'm also going to speed up some other sections, as you're going to see here. And then I realized that I really just like a few of these notes here. That's it. That's all you need. Yep. It's almost something kind of like Wharves by Billy Woods. I'm taking a lot of inspiration specifically from Ethiops and hiding places. They're super off-the-wall, kind of spooky production. And that includes having reverb to kind of build that space. Just sounds like it's shooting down like an empty cave or something, you know what I mean? I do still really like having some of the, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, bruh. We are gonna take some other pieces out of the sample though. I think really we're just gonna take kind of a fast little part out of it, and we're gonna create a nice little sample out of that. Right here, I'm going to take one of the longer notes that I have, stick it over in one ear, and then just try to draw it out like a riser by reversing it and whatever I got to do to make it like harrowing almost, something that really sounds like it's like spooking you out in the background, you know what I mean? It's like something's watching you almost is the vibes. We're going to get into some of the writing strategies too, but that's something that Billy Woods talks about a lot, are the vibes. That's something that's really important to maybe make a note of, I would say. The vibes is animal pelts, chunky rings, clunky shoes, lots of ink. Dudes who order everybody drink. You know what I mean, bruh? Like... And then right here, we're gonna add our bass line into it real quick. And then I found this kick drum just out of the Cymatics pack that I've had for a billion years. Every now and then, there's a little hitter in there for you. I'm I'm trying to do something different where I'm using the kicks a lot more centrally than I am the kick and snare. The snare is almost like an accent, and I actually put it on the third beat. The fourth beat, actually. I put it on the fourth beat of every measure, which is something that I don't think I've ever really done. Added reverb and delay on it too. And then I have this like shaker rocks sound effect. And again, it just builds atmosphere. That's like one of the key words here. You just want something that feels like you're in it. When Billy Woods is rapping too, he does a lot of just putting you in the middle of the scene right now. Right here again, I do what I did with that other guitar chord thing where I just reverse it, pitch it. And then I actually changed it a little bit up with the kick pattern right here. Kick drum was a little busy for a minute there. It needs to make sure it has plenty of room to breathe, and the hi-hats are gonna kind of fill in that space too. And I don't really show it a lot of the time. I can make more videos about my mixing if you're interested, but I do kind of mix as I go here. I'm mostly just showing you guys like the sequencing, what the music really looks like, and not all the nitty gritty, but I am putting on like compressors, and obviously you hear the reverb and shit that I have going on. Right here too, I add reverb onto the hi-hats so that it kind of doubles the pattern a little bit, and then also reversed a different hi-hat. And it's just gonna add like an extra kind of almost head jerk to it where you're like, what? Whoa, you know what I mean? And then right here, I take the sample and reverse it. Hadn't done that yet. We're just gonna chop that up how we like it. The key part to a lot of these beats is looping a part quickly. And then I add some gross beat on there. Kind of makes it sync, triplets it. I added 2 doses of reverb actually. 2 doses of gross beat, I mean to say. And then I automate it because it sounded so good on the actual beat too. I like it mostly in this kind of bridge portion here. Add some drums as well because I didn't want it too sparse. And you'll see later as I started sequencing it for writing, I had written to it for like 30 minutes at this point, and I was like, okay, this part in the middle sucks to write to. Nobody wants to rap over this. Billy Woods wouldn't. He would just keep the drums going a lot of the time because the song's only minute 50, 2 minutes at the most. Get in and get out with your ideas is a lot of the key points. And he does a lot also of sticking you into a scene and like forcing you to see exactly what he sees, smell what he smells, taste what he tastes, etc. And that's what I rapped about here. I included some ad-libs as well, just 3 of them here. And I also threw on the beat tag. Of course, I put it on there twice because there's kind of like an outro portion now. And then this is pretty much going to be it. Really quick before I play the final beat, I just wanted to go over a couple things. So I have 7 things that Billy Woods does when he writes songs that maybe he doesn't do in every single song, but he's bound to do pretty much one of these in every single song. The first thing that I mentioned earlier is that he's going to put you in the middle of a scene. He's going to immediately start talking about, you know, the people in front of him, the smell in the air, maybe what he's listening to on the radio. He's very specific about what he wants you to see, and usually he puts that right at the beginning of a verse, and then you're sitting there next to him is almost what it feels like as he's writing it. The second thing, he does a lot of internal rhymes, not really as many rhymes on the back end of bars. He still does that plenty, obviously, because that's kind of the most typical way to rap, but he does a lot of internal rhymes and then throwing off the last word just to kind of make it off kilter, if that makes sense. But predominantly, there's always words in the middle of lines that are rhyming with the other words in the middle of the lines, so kind of pay attention to that going forward. Number 3 I mentioned earlier, but that is the vibes. He's always talking about the vibes are this, there's bad vibes in here, there's bad vibes here, there's the vibes are this, etc. Just mention the vibes. You know the vibes, bruh. Talk about your vibes, bruh. Another thing he seems to mention a lot of the time, especially on that album Maps, it's kind of like a travel log. He mentions the weather. He'll talk about, it's snowing outside, which you're going to see here in just a minute, actually, with my example one. Number 5, he's going to mention that typical rapper stuff. He's going to mention girls, he's going to mention money, he's going to mention drugs, etc. Usually, though, it's not in a way necessarily to glorify them, but rather to talk about his issues in a way. He'll be rapping about maybe like his baby mama, rapping about like maybe a failed marriage, things like that, or he's talking about like maybe the abuse of drugs, the abuse of alcohol, more so than just, hey, we're in here partying, but also frames it in a way that does sound a little bit like he's partying, like it's in a very personable, kind of relatable way, if that makes sense. And to snowball from that one, actually, he does do a lot of like pessimistic writing when he is rapping. A lot of stuff where like there's admitting it's not gonna get better. Things are really bad right now, and just it is what it is. There's bad vibes, but it is what it is. We roll the ounce, etc. Just a lot of it is what it is, but there's almost like a glimmer of hope in the way that he promotes the negativity in his music. There's a lot of negative. Okay, I started rambling a little bit, but basically he does a lot of kind of negative thinking, very pessimistic attitude towards the world and the people around him even, and it's really important, I think, that he mentions a lot of glimmers of hope and stuff within that still, things talking about his kids and maybe vibes are good with his baby mama right now and that kind of stuff. So certainly still something that does happen a lot in his music. And the last thing that he mentions a lot in his music is historical figures, whether it be, famous poets or politicians or evil people, a lot of crazy talking about Incan treasure and just things that are kind of seemingly otherworldly because they're so far back in time, and he finds the need to not only bring them up but connect it to what he's talking to and how it matters within his life, and that's something that's also worth mentioning. And with all that being said, this is kind of my final product. This is what it sounded like when I put all of these tips into one and tried to write a verse and kind of just make something off the wall and experimental. For those of you guys who know my music, this is not something that I usually would make at all. So let me know what you're feeling on it. Click like if you liked, subscribe, please, if you want to see more videos like this, and let me know in the comments what else you'd like me to do. What other artists should I try to make beats like? Should I try to rap like? Maybe I suck at all of this, and maybe let me know that too. Any engagement is good engagement right now. Click subscribe though. My name is Sundxwn, and I hope you guys enjoy this little song. I called it Snowfall, and here we go.
Damn, Sundxwn.
1 o'clock phone call, talking about the snowfall. Hopping out of bed like Duplantis with the pole vault. Nothing special, know the drill, branded Kobalt. First things first, I need more salt. Skrt to the south side, weed, I'm on cloud 9. Know the vibes, working overtime, life is a skatepark, trademark the grind. But a pebble in the concrete is ruining your day. Just a rock, all it takes, stop motion like your feet made of clay. Mind wandering, back to the story. I'm at work, I don't play. Can't afford vacation, but I'm patient, so I wait. I pull up on location with the Beatles on rotation. I'm wading through the snow, blade erase it as I go. I'm smoking more dro with my spade to the pavement. Amazement, coffee shop got us with the free drinks. Me thinks the weed stinks, clothes giving skunk. I'm looking out the sky pink, the sun's coming up. And the ultraviolet rays on my face and my skin. The paycheck coming, it ain't worth it in the end. Weeks worth of food and the rent, I got nothing left to spend. But Thich Nhat Hanh said be mindful of the present. Acknowledgement of pleasance in the air. But I feel like a peasant to the nobles, and Kropotkin said to share. So fuck it, I'll take what's mine.